morning. Welcome on a blindingly sunny Northumberland morning. It's Thursday, the 7th of May. It's amazing to think that when we started these reflections, we were back in March. And it being a Thursday, we come round again in the news cycle of our week to what I think of as an NHS Thursdays, when we will join with our communities in applauding and cheering the work of NHS workers and other medical workers and care workers in the front line in our nursing homes, cheering them and giving thanks for them. And the good news for me is that for the first time since this lockdown, we've been given permission to ring church bells alongside the cheering of the nation. So here in this benefice, bells will ring at 8 o'clock alongside the clapping and the car horns. It's an outpouring, I think, of love and respect for those people who are helping us. And yesterday I watched a programme on the TV last night, a documentary, following the lives of a number of health workers over these last weeks. I think the filming started at the beginning of April and continued through until now. These health workers were very ordinary and very nice and lovely people. A broad selection, people of English ascendancy and Christian ascendancy, people with no faith and people who had Islamic faith. All of these, it was a cross-section of our country. And all of these people struck me by their normality, in inverted commas, insofar as anyone is normal. But in their normality, they were going every day into extraordinary situations. They were all working in one way or another, either in intensive care or in the management of intensive care. And they're going into a place where they know there is great danger. Someone said this is the first time where doctors and nurses and ancillary staff have known that they are putting their own selves in danger as they care for the people who are very sick. A much greater sense of that danger as they go in, a better sense than most of us have. And yet they went in, not because they were superhuman, but because they were simple human people and drew upon the resources of their own humanity to do these astonishingly courageous things. It's very courageous to go into a situation when you know you're in danger. It's very courageous to be afraid and yet to carry on. We are not applauding superheroes. We are applauding ordinary people who are able to do extraordinary things. A Muslim doctor said, "I am sustained by my faith." I think as we come round to another week of NHS applause, it's important to remember that it isn't a habit. It's something that reflects how day by day these people are giving friends, neighbours, family a chance to fight this virus. They are sustaining each patient in intensive care in their chance to fight and to overcome the virus. It reminds me of the importance of being able to do all we can to help others, but above all to do all we can to make sure that the spread of this disease is limited. I've rejoiced in the fact that we can go into our churches and ring the bells. But I know that we're not ready to go in and to worship again. And worship for this benefice will continue in its pattern here until it is safer for us to gather, at least in small numbers, to pray in our churches. But I give thanks that simply by the ringing of our bells, we can indicate the fact that our prayer continues, and that we are holding all those people who are doing so much for our communities in our hearts and in our prayers. May God bless them in everything that they do, and may God bless us in everything that we do today.